If I go to Tesla, June expiry, and I want to buy Tesla, I think Tesla's going through the roof. So the expected move for Tesla, you can see all the Tesla I have here. Um, if I look at the expected move for Tesla, it's $46 up or down by June 20th. Right now, it's sitting at 364. If I add $46 to that, to the upside, I get 410. So would it make sense? 400 calls for June, right? If I think Tesla's going to go up, buy the 400 calls. Let's just see what those cost. Oh, they came down a little bit. Wow. $875 for the 400 calls, which means you need 408.75 by expiration in order just to break even when the expected move is, what did I say it was? 40 what? 407, 410, for whatever. Yeah, 410. So if the market maker is right, you might make $1 or $2, maybe. But what if price never gets near 400? This is a very expensive call, isn't it? And even if you did a vertical, it's crazy. Look at it. The 390s are $1,100. So the premium that they've put into these calls is insane. I mean, this is all premium. And it's specifically priced so that you won't make money. If you think you can outsmart the casino, good luck. So don't go ahead and buy an 890 or 880, whatever you could get it for, call. That doesn't make any sense. You want to bring that cost down. So one of the ways that you could bring it down is you could sell the 410. So that, let's say you could get 690 for that. So if you look at what a vertical would cost, so I'll buy the 400. That's pretty lofty. Let's buy the 390. Yeah. And sell the 400. See what that comes, about $300 or so, or 228. Yeah. So that's not bad. See how we just brought the cost down from 800 something down to 200? Still have the ability, to make really good money, triple our money if we're right. But you got to be right. You got to get to 400. It's still a risk to get to 400. But this was one way that we were able to bring the price down by doing a vertical. Well, what if you wanted to bring the price down even more? So one of the things you could do is say, well, you know what? Tomorrow, I don't think by Friday, I don't think Tesla gets above 375 by Friday. So you go over here. This isn't going to be accurate, but it's an example. This is an example. I'm going to short the 375 call, buy the 380 call. That's called a call credit spread, a 5-wide call credit spread. And guess what? The market's going to give me $58. So if price goes up, that's good for my call credit, my call debit spread, right? As long as it doesn't go past 375, which it shouldn't, it's $11 away from where we are now. If it doesn't, then I get to keep that $58. So guess what? The 228 for the debit spread minus 58. Now my cost is $1.70 for a 10-wide vertical on Tesla. That makes sense. Do you see how we went from naked call to call debit spread? That's a vertical. But then we also added a little bit of a, I guess you'd call it a diagonal. It's kind of like a calendar. Adding a credit scenario in the short week to help pay for the long week. Everybody get it? And so it's important to be thinking this way down the road as you get better, as you become more expertise at what you do, because you don't want to just blindly pay what the market is offering, because they lie. It's not worth what they say it is. And calls and puts are priced specifically to do one thing: expire worthless. That's what they're designed. That's how they're priced. And then the average trader thinks this is a fair game. So the price that you see here, you think that's fair. You think it makes sense because the casino is convincing you, well, look at all these numbers here. Well, look, you could get it, and that's how much I'm going to pay, right? You're convinced that this is a fair fight, and it's not. So that's why here, and it's going to take a little time to learn, but once you do, you will learn how to build a narrative, how to understand which way the market could potentially go, not with certainty, right? But with some inside information and with some collaboration of indicators and market internals. Then you can look for a setup. And a setup is a series of criteria, kind of like the 6-star setup that you probably saw the video for, right? It's a series of criteria that if we stack, make a case for it, just like a doctor has a diagnosis. Well, got a fever, runny nose, sore throat, pain in your stomach, CT scan comes up this, blah, 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 your blood lives in it. You know what? Guess what? You got the flu or whatever it is, right? Or a lawyer trying to make a case. Well, we found her in the kitchen. She was holding a knife. It had blood on it. It's his blood. And there's, somebody recorded something on their phone. Don't kill me, honey. Whatever. It's just stack the evidence. Guilty. Right? So you want a series of criteria that you could stack and make the case. That's what a setup is. We do not trade unless we have a setup. And then once we have a setup, we look for a way to confirm that setup. And there's a number of ways that we do that. Price action, an indicator, yields coming down, going up, the dollar. There's a number of ways to confirm that setup. And then we've got our strategy. What are we going to do? We're going to buy puts, we're going to calls, verticals. What strategic way can we keep our costs low and our potential profit high, right? And create a strategy that could work. And then the magic word that this entire pyramid is built on: allocation. How much are you going to put in the trade? When are you going to add to the trade? How are you going to exit the trade? What the hell am I doing with this trade? This is the most important thing, because you could have a narrative, the setup, confirm, put on your strategy. But if you don't know what the F you're doing in terms of how much you're allocating, when I say don't know what you're doing, based on your tolerance, based on your personal emotional makeup, like what would work for you, based on the size of account that you have and your emotional, liabilities. And we teach you how to find that out. That's why you track the trades first, so you can start to get a sense for what the trades are, how much size. Then you practice with an actual allocation, learn when to add to the trade, and you must know when to exit. How do I know when to take profits? How do I know when the trade is breaking down? How do I know when to roll it? What do I do? Well, I'm going to tell you what to do with every trade. So track it all. After you track for a month, it'll start to make a lot of sense. This is one of the Trade With Me Now methodologies of how to trade. And it's what I've tried to teach for 5 years, and it's what I've tried to explain tonight.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.